Well, good morning, folks. Today on Mongrels Garage, we're doing something a little bit different. This has been sitting in my basement.
Are you serious?
That's right, you heard it right. My basement for a few years now. The last sticker says 2021, so
You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me.
is my 2005 Suzuki Boulevard M95. Well, that's 95 cubic inches or 1600 cc's. It is shaft drive, liquid cooled, hydraulic lifters, fuel injected. Now, it's more of a Kawasaki.
No. I don't believe it.
Because in 2004, 2005, those two companies were kind of merged, and this is actually a Cowie Mean Streak with a bobtail. There's something we need to get done, and I'm going to start enjoying this again. It has to do with this. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Okay, here you are, looking at the back tire, and you can see right there. Ooh, we really pushed that one to the limits, didn't we? Yeah, it's time to get that changed. Now, I've never done this before, but we'll see if we can figure it out. Let's get this tire changed and do some servicing. Taking a look at this, it looks like the first thing we have to do is get this brake off and then get this axle nut out, axle bolt. So we're going to undo these bolts. There's two. Just pull that off to the side for now. Stay. Get this cotter pin out. Try not to scratch the exhaust up too much. It'd be easier to do that without the exhaust here. That is a big cotter pin, I'll tell you. I got it. Now we need a big crescent wrench, I guess. Okay, I'm just gonna mark this so I know where it was. Well, let's crack this loose. Ooh, that's still very tight. There we go. Oh, there we go. I think we got it. You know what? I'm going to only back it off to here because I suspect I'm going to have to give this a knock to drive the bolt out. I can't get straight on it, but should be close enough. Yeah, that's coming out. Get the nut and the washer off. We're just going to keep tapping this bolt out. Okay, little guy, you're interrupting my video. Come on. Okay, I think I have to take this caliper mount bracket off. So we'll do that. We loosened off the bolt to that caliper mounting bracket. I think we're gonna have to take it right off though. That's a 17 mil. You're gonna have a tire fall on you. It's not gonna be good. Get out of there. Come on. Okay, I gotta take care of these kittens. Okay, so I've almost got this bracket off. Once we get that off, we should be able to get this wheel off. Okay, let's see if that worked. Oh, look at that.
Excellent.
I think we have some success here. There we go. Oh, that wasn't too bad. We got it. Cool. Got splines. Look at that. Very cool. That was much worse than taking one off of a car. There we go. We get the wheel mounted back on. Basically the reverse of what we did to take it off. There is a little spacer in here. Make sure you get that and don't lose it. And then we got the nut on here. We got the cotter pin hole lined up. We got the brake caliper back on. Just got a few different cotter pins to try. That one's probably a little too small. We'll try that first. Yeah, it's too small. Let's grab a different one. Whoa, that one's too big. And that one's just right. Okay, let's get that cotter pin in there. Now it is long, so we are hitting our pipe here. There's a couple ways we could deal with this. We could rotate the bolt, the axle shaft itself, but we got a fair bit of torque on there. So I don't know if that's our best option. But it's, there we go. And through it goes. That works. We'll go with that. Bend the one tab over, and the other tab. Oh, that is a thick cotter pin, man. Come on, you can do it.
You can do it!
Oh, got it. Fantastic. Down a little bit, so you're not hitting our exhaust so much. Yeah, all safetied up, should be good to go. Get this back on the ground. We'll go enjoy that. Nice. The weather got a little nasty outside, so we moved the bike inside. We're going to finish things up in here. And the next job is underneath the bike. I'll show you what I mean. Look, right around here. Yeah, there it is. There's a drain plug right there that we're going to need to get off. And then back here, there's the oil filter. We're going to go pop that off. We're going to change the oil on this. Well, I guess let's start getting this filter off. How much of a mess we can make. I think it's supposed to make crunchy noises when it comes off. That's weird. Feels like it's rubbing on something, like a rock or something. There's some long threads on there. We got it. Just a little baby guy. Look at that. Make sure that matches what we got. Wrapped in plastic at the top. Oh, look at that. This O-ring comes pre-lubed. Nice. Looks the same to me. Pretty darn similar anyways. Pretty much just like your car. There you go. Yeah, filter's done. That was easy. Get the oil out there. Drain plug's right there. I believe it's a 17mm. That seems to work. Go with it. Oh no, it's not quite working. There we go. We're going to end up making a mess on the floor here. And it doesn't quite fit in there well enough to catch everything. I think there's about 3 liters or 3 quarts in here. Maybe a smaller pan next time. Note to self. Well, that's exactly what I didn't want you to do. Thank you for that. There, that's better. Now that we dumped half of it on the floor. Oh, that thing. You don't even have to take it out all the way. Oh, man. Wish I would have figured that out sooner. It's got little holes in it so it can just back out a bit and drain. Well, this is exciting, isn't it? I'll get back to you. Okay, one thing I do want to point out is you can see that's got an O-ring on it. Make sure you don't lose that. Might be in trouble. See that it's got a little groove in there for that O-ring to sit in, so just be mindful of that. You can see our sight glass in here. We'll just back out. There's the engine coming down. It's at the bottom. There's our sight glass for the oil. And our fill plug is right there. You're going to need a large screwdriver to get that out, and there we go. And we're going to use a nice high quality motorcycle 10W40. The reason you want this, because it's got friction modifiers and everything else you need in there to help this bike last a long time. Now this is, I think it's semi-synthetic, but you can get a full synthetic if you're going race bike and performance driving, which I'm not. But this will probably work for almost everything you need. Alright, let's get this oil in here. And here's hoping I could do this without making a mess, because this actually does have a fill port on it, but I got my strap here, so I may have to go get a funnel. It's going to be a funnel. I think I got the setup now. Dump a little bit in at a time. We'll just keep an eye on our little sight glass down there. I think I'm going to need a flashlight for that though. Of course, I don't have one. I have the one on my phone. Great. I can see it a little bit. I'll keep going. Going over service this. We'll just dump a little bit in at a time. Let's say it's almost full, but then we let it sit and it comes back down. said, it's supposed to take about 3 liters or 3 quarts, I think. Look at there. We have numbers right there. So oil capacity in liters. Filter removed, not removed, is 2. Filter removed, 3.1. Filter completely dry, 3.5. So that's what we're going to have to go after. We're going to add a little bit more to this because we got to fill our filter. Come down here, our sight glass is looking okay, nice and full. But like I said, we got to add that, fill that filter up. So let's just add a little bit more. You want your bike level when you're doing this too. 4 liters in this jug. We should have about 1 liter left, which is fairly close to 1 quart. Oh, I think we're there. I don't see it coming back down on the sight glass anymore. We got that pretty darn close, I think. Let's get this thing fired up, get the oil percolating a bit. Settle, see where we're at, and add more if we need to. There you go. You can see we dropped down just a hair below the high line, so we'll add a little bit more in there and we'll call it a day. Okay, we're going to call that right about where it should be, so we're going to leave it there. Yeah, we're just going to get our bike down off the lift here. I have to put a block under the front wheel. This, it does not like to come off this lift otherwise. Just sits a little bit too low for it. There we go. I want that on the kickstand. And we're lucky, we can get the jack out from under it. Oh yeah, nice. Yeah, I just got to clean up some oil and stuff here because we do not want our tires going through that. I'll tell you what, last thing you need is slippery motorcycle wheels. Not good. Last but not least, we're going to check our tire pressures. Now this should have 42 in the back and about 36 up front. So let's see if that's what we got. Looks like we're at about 38, so we're going to have to add some air to that one. You want to check these cold. Don't check them hot after a long ride. Check them cold. That's at about 30, so we're going to have to top both these up. Now we get to the best part of a job like this. Get to enjoy the fruits of your labor. And taking this for a ride. Alright. It's been a while. Let's see if I can remember how to do this. Alright, let's roll. That's not supposed to happen. Thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe, ring that bell, and we'll catch you on the next video. Alright, let's roll.
3 hours later.
Well, of course. Yeah. Time to get that inside. I guess we'll go work on that ram over there because it's going to be doing this for like the next week or something. Yay. Typical.